Hey, adrenaline junkies. Welcome to Mind Rush. Get ready to dive into heart-pounding chases, jaw-dropping action, and the most thrilling moments caught on camera. Let's get your heart racing. On March 28, 2025, officers in Waldenburg, Arkansas, attempted to stop a vehicle driven by 36-year-old Revale Murphy of Memphis. The truck had no intention of stopping, and when Murphy refused to pull over, the pursuit moved onto State Highway 14. Dispatch updated that the suspect was passing vehicles on the shoulder and forcing drivers into oncoming lanes. As the chase headed toward I-555, Arkansas State Police joined in. At highway speeds, Murphy merged onto the interstate and continued south, ignoring lights, sirens, and repeated commands to stop. With multiple agencies now involved and traffic increasing, troopers prepared for the possibility that this pursuit might not end voluntarily.
Second one to say we've had one unsuccessful TBI.
Attempted TBI was unsuccessful.
Coming up on exit 14, still. Triple nickel.
Southbound 55, exit 13. 14.
As the chase headed through multiple counties, Murphy threaded traffic, pushed the shoulder, and refused to stop despite repeated attempts by officers to slow him down. At one point near Marked Tree, an ASP trooper tried a tactical vehicle intervention, but slid off the roadway and overturned. Fortunately, that trooper was not seriously hurt. Murphy continued south toward Crittenden County, still refusing to surrender.
Successful TBI?
Negative.
He's got large tires, be careful with that. If you can't do it, just back off.
Going south.
Arkansas 326, Young Sam Union 326, YSU. Do you have any of the other 28 vehicles involved?
I just have the one that he's giving. That's the only one.
TBI. Rollover.
20.
Near the 20-mile marker on Interstate 55, an Arkansas state trooper closed the gap and executed another TVI maneuver in an effort to end the threat. Murphy's vehicle left the roadway, rolled across the service road, and overturned. Murphy was ejected from the vehicle and critically injured. He was transported to a Memphis trauma center, where he was pronounced dead the following evening. A 39-year-old female passenger was treated at a nearby hospital for non-life-threatening injuries. Background and charges, warrants. Investigators later confirmed Murphy was wanted out of Tennessee for aggravated assault, 2 counts, aggravated sexual assault, domestic assault, evading arrest, aggravated burglary robbery, assault on a first responder, aggravated robbery, a multi-county pursuit, 2 TVI attempts, and a trooper injured, all before the final maneuver ended the threat. The decisions made behind the wheel that night came with tragic consequences. On December 18, 2025, around 5:37 p.m., an Arkansas state trooper initiated a traffic stop on a black Dodge Challenger in Little Rock, not for speed, not for reckless driving, but for extremely dark window tint. When the trooper activated emergency lights, the driver decided the tint wasn't the only thing he wanted to hide and refused to stop.
Adam 13, Little Rock, 24.
Go ahead, Adam 37.
630 West, 3. Boy, George, 86 Lincoln, BGG, 86L, Black Dodge Challenger. 1037.
What do I see?
Going south down, see you. Turn west on 10th, Tennessee.
Turn right on 10th.
No, that's all right. I couldn't request assistance.
The Challenger fled through residential neighborhoods at speeds up to 60 miles per hour, blowing past traffic control devices and cutting through city streets with little regard for anyone else on the road. With homes, intersections, and evening traffic nearby, the risk continued to rise, and the driver showed no signs of slowing down.
Going south on Adam. Coming down on 12, going west on, correction, keep going. We're still going south on Adam, close to Adam.
Going down 12 minutes.
TV out. Let me see your hands! Going on foot.
To end the danger, the trooper executed a tactical vehicle intervention, sending the Challenger into a mailbox near 1701 West Adams Street and disabling it. The driver immediately bailed out and tried running on foot, but that plan lasted only a few seconds. After a brief foot chase, the suspect was taken into custody without further incident. Officers later confirmed the vehicle was uninsured, the driver wasn't wearing a seatbelt, and the window tint measured 0.5%, well below what's legal. The suspect was transported to UAMS for medical clearance before being booked into the Pulaski County Regional Detention Facility. Charges: improper window tint, no liability insurance, no seatbelt, fleeing on foot, fleeing by vehicle. A window tint stop turned into a mailbox crash and a foot chase. Turns out 0.5% tint doesn't hide much, especially from a TVI. On December 16, 2025, just after 1:40 a.m., officers were patrolling near Asher Avenue and Fair Park when Little Rock police became involved in a vehicle pursuit near University in Asher. Moments later, a silver 2007 Dodge Durango with no visible license plate came racing eastbound on Asher. When units requested assistance, officers moved in, and the Durango immediately made it clear this wasn't going to be a traffic stop.
That's it, where they're passing PSP.
Gonna be probably on Asher, eastbound from Fair Park.
10-1 at 1063 for Adam 19.
CFS comments edited.
Little Rock, you're banging at 53 for Adam 19, 1037.
The Durango pushed between 70 and 85 miles per hour, well beyond what the road or the hour could support. An early TVI attempt didn't stick, and the driver responded by accelerating even harder, topping 90 miles per hour while blowing through intersections, including Roosevelt Road. Traffic was still present, and every block added more risk. The chase continued east until officers lined up again near Wright and Woodrow.
Coming up to right, speed 92 now.
CFS comments entered.
Sorry, Woodrow, just through Woodrow, speed 65, no traffic. 31, I'm in the middle of Woodrow right now.
You see your hands, man? Show me those hands. Show me your hands. Show me your hands, both of you. Show me your hands. Show them. Hands up. Show them. Up, up, up.
This time, the TVI landed clean, spinning the Durango and bringing the pursuit to a stop. Officers moved in for a felony takedown. 2 passengers, James Foley and Sherita Rogers, followed commands and were taken into custody without issue. The driver, Malton Dwayne Alexander, chose a different approach. He refused commands, kept reaching around the vehicle, and delayed exiting, drawing concern from officers who couldn't see his hands. After several tense minutes, Alexander finally got out and was taken to the ground and placed into custody. The vehicle and all suspects were turned over to Little Rock Police for further investigation. Charges: fleeing by vehicle, possession of drug paraphernalia, false imprisonment, first-degree reckless driving, first offense, driving without tags, refusal to submit to arrest, 1 failed TVI, 1 successful one, and a driver who made things harder than they needed to be. Alexander didn't outrun the stop, he just delayed it. On December 23, 2025, near West Memphis, Arkansas, Trooper Gunner Fultz was monitoring Interstate 40 when a gray Ford Focus blew past at 120 miles per hour. When Fultz caught up and activated his lights, the driver, Bryson Hanson, refused to stop. Within seconds, Fultz moved in on the shoulder of the interstate and attempted the first pit maneuver, nudging the Focus offline. But Hanson fought the wheel, recovered, and the chase was officially on.
280 eastbound, Georgia, David Data, 45058. TVI.
TVI 1154.
He's in between the guardrails. He's still driving. I'm here in front of the casino, still eastbound.
10-4. Can you send on that 1028?
No, he's getting on the service road. Stand by.
10-4.
After slipping out of that first attempt, Hanson pushed the Focus even harder. He blasted across the grass, jumped onto the service road, and treated corners like suggestions.
We're going towards Ingram. We're on Barton now.
Towards Ingram on Barton. Day 20, what type of vehicle is that? Unknown vehicle description.
Hanson weaved through traffic, ignored signals, and even took the wrong side of the roadway at times. Then, just as it looked like he might slow, the trooper closed in again and tried another controlled hit. Hanson escaped a second time, punched the gas, and the speed climbed all over again. Whatever he thought his plan was, it wasn't getting safer.
Service road. We're coming up to MLK.
Coming up to MLK.
wrong way on the interstate, wrong way on the interstate.
They're coming up to MLK at this time. No return of the tag, no vehicle description at this time.
D20, can you tell me what kind of vehicle that is that tag you gave me? I'm not getting a return.
Rollover truck.
Get out of the car! Do it now! Hands! Hands! Get out of the car! Step out of the car! Now! Get out of the car!
Moments later, near a roadside motel, Fultz lined up a third pit attempt, pushing the Focus toward the edge of the roadway. And once again, Hansen managed to claw the car back and keep going. Finally, when the suspect pulled toward a patrol station gas lot area, Fultz committed one last time. The fourth pit maneuver connected perfectly, spinning the Focus out and ending the pursuit for good. Hansen was ordered out and taken into custody without further incident. No innocent drivers were hurt, but the Focus wasn't driving anywhere else that night. Charges fleeing, speeding, reckless driving, criminal mischief, shoulder start, service roads, wrong lanes, and 4 pit attempts. Hansen dodged the first 3, but the fourth one closed the book. On December 15, 2025, around 7:26 p.m., a trooper was traveling westbound on 4th Street near Mayo Drive when a black Nissan Altima stood out from traffic, mostly because it was in a hurry. Radar clocked the car at 58 miles per hour in a 45, and when the trooper turned around and hit the lights, the driver briefly pretended this was a normal stop, before deciding it absolutely was not. The Altima turned onto Lockett Lane, accelerated, and the traffic stop officially became a pursuit.
Hey, 31, 1037.
10-4. Which 20?
We're at standby. In Barling, just off the rock.
10-4.
Get out of the car! Get out of the fuck! $959 X-ray same item. $959 X-ray same item. Black Nissan Altima, Hispanic male.
10-4.
He hit my car. Stand by. We're on coming up the Stroger lane. I'm not sure. We're in a kind of a trailer park area.
The driver pushed through a residential neighborhood at speed, ending up at a dead end on Topaz Trail, which usually means the fun is over. Not tonight. As the trooper attempted a TVI, the driver threw it in reverse, struck the patrol unit, and escaped, blowing a stop sign on the way out like it was optional. The chase rolled back onto 4th Street, then Rogers Avenue, where speeds climbed past 100 miles per hour with traffic still on the road. Red lights were ignored, stop signs were suggestions, and at one point the driver even shut off his headlights, apparently hoping darkness would solve everything.
Passing South 91st. John Rogers. Traffic's medium. Got to cut through a red light. Clear left, clear right, clear left, clear right. Coming up to Mazard. North on Mazard. TBI.
10-4 TBI.
They drove out of the TBI, still south on, coming up to, we're on Mark. They just blacked out. Speed's 45, going west on Mark. South 80th, Mark, residential neighborhood. Speed's 25, coming up to 45 now.
Near Massard Road and Marks Lane, the trooper landed another TVI, spinning the Altima around, but the driver mashed the gas again, striking the patrol unit and fleeing through yet another neighborhood. The run finally ended on South 81st Street, where the Altima drove into a dead end and stopped for good. The driver refused to get out, refused to open the door, and refused to cooperate, so officers removed him through the window instead. The driver was identified as Alexander Raya. Officers immediately noticed slurred speech, bloodshot eyes, and a strong odor of alcohol. A search of the vehicle turned up a backpack with a partially consumed bottle of tequila, apparently the co-pilot for this entire decision-making process. Charges: felony, fleeing by vehicle, DWI, refusal to submit to chemical test, refusal to submit to arrest, speeding, reckless driving open container in a motor vehicle, failure to obey stop sign, no lights at night, criminal mischief obstructing governmental operations, dead ends, multiple TVIs, and a car that just wouldn't quit. Raya tried everything except stopping, and that's what finally ended it. On December 8, 2025, Arkansas State Police Trooper Caleb Miller spotted a vehicle flying down the interstate at nearly 120 miles per hour. When Miller activated his lights, the driver refused to slow down, hugging the inside wall and squeezing through traffic. With cars ahead and no room to safely intervene, Miller stayed behind, waiting for the moment when it could be stopped without innocent drivers getting hurt.
10-4 units, next drag, L32, 637.
Southbound speed. TDI.
When traffic finally opened, Miller shifted lanes, closed the gap, and executed a precision pit maneuver. The suspect's vehicle spun out, skidded toward the shoulder, and came to a stop. Troopers moved in with commands as the driver fumbled and hesitated before finally climbing out and surrendering. The pursuit ended safely, and nobody else on the highway was injured. Charges: reckless driving, fleeing by vehicle, speeding 100+ miles per hour, failure to yield to emergency lights. Hugging the wall kept him from getting stopped for a while, but when the opening came, the pit maneuver did exactly what it was designed to do. On an evening in Arkansas, just after 8:05 p.m., Arkansas State Police Troop C received word that Truman police were chasing a stolen vehicle out of Jonesboro, heading northbound on Interstate 555. Troopers began repositioning ahead of the pursuit, knowing this one wasn't slowing down anytime soon. As the chase passed mile markers and agencies, a trooper moved into position near the 42-mile marker and took the lead. The suspect vehicle was already flying, well over 100 miles per hour. The trooper moved in and attempted a TVI on the passenger side, sending the car off the roadway into a ditch and straight into a highway fence. Somehow, the vehicle powered back out and kept going, rolling through Apache Drive, then onto Red Wolf Drive. From there, it only got worse.
What's your call? They're coming up there. Going on 25 west on highway, coming up to getaways.
Cutting through the parking lot.
He just pulled into the parking lot, Old Navy. Yeah. Like team's got lead, I'm the radio now. Simple. We're back in Caraway, northbound.
Let's see your hands now! Let me see your hands! Roll the window down! Give me your hands now!
When the suspect swerved into a parking lot near Caraway Road, the chase shuffled again. That's when Trooper Brian Merrill stepped in and took over as lead. As the suspect re-entered Caraway Road, Merrill lined it up and executed a second TVI, sending the vehicle sliding into a curb and finally disabling it. With the car stopped, officers from Truman PD, Craighead County, and Jonesboro Police moved in for a felony takedown. Both the driver and passenger were taken into custody without further incident, ending a pursuit that had already tried everything except stopping on its own. Charges: fleeing by vehicle theft by receiving stolen vehicle, reckless driving, driving left of center, failure to obey traffic control devices, one stolen car, triple-digit speeds, a fence, a ditch, and finally a curb that said no more. Turns out even the fastest getaway runs out of road eventually. On December 10th, 2025, in Baxter County, Arkansas, deputies were chasing a white Ford F-250 with no tags after the driver started forcing vehicles off the road. As the truck turned toward Bull Shoals, Arkansas State Police Trooper Philip Gonton positioned ahead of the pursuit. With school traffic starting soon, and the suspect already driving head-on into cars, this was not the kind of morning anyone wanted.
Yeah, from campgrounds in Bull Shoals.
Here's Met 7. They now advise on 178. Towards Baxter County, right next to Park.
25, one state, round 2. State's got lead.
TVI.
25, stay with them.
With seconds to react and traffic nearby, Gonton committed to a tactical vehicle intervention, striking the truck on the driver's side to stop a potential head-on crash. The impact heavily damaged the F-250 and pushed it into another vehicle before it continued eastbound. Despite his own patrol unit taking major damage, Gonton stayed with the chase. On Bull Shoals Dam, he set up for a second TVI, struck the truck again, and this time immobilized it completely. The driver, Thaddeus Urey, resisted briefly before officers took him into custody. Charges: felony, fleeing by vehicle driving while intoxicated, reckless driving, driving left of center, no vehicle license, no liability insurance, resisting arrest, wrong lane, school hour traffic, and 2 TVIs on a dam. Yuri ran out of roadway, and excuses. On December 14, 2025, in Garland County, Arkansas, troopers spotted a Ford F-150 that had already run from deputies earlier in the day. When the captain requested help, an Arkansas State Police trooper moved into the pursuit. The driver, 43-year-old Jason Griffith, refused to stop. It was clear this wasn't going to be a quick conversation.
I've got it. Continue on. Turn it over to state. Ready to leave. Right down on Durango Street.
To stop the chase before someone got hurt, the trooper performed a pit maneuver, sending the F-150 offline. The truck slammed into a crepe myrtle tree, struck a gas meter, and hit a retaining wall before coming to a stop. Griffith jumped out, tossed something, and tried to run, but was tackled seconds later. The tossed item turned out to be a loaded Ruger 9mm. Troopers also found meth, suspected DMT, and another bag of unknown powder. Damage was estimated at $20,000, and the chase ended right where Jason's excuses did. He was charged with fleeing on vehicle, fleeing on foot, criminal mischief, simultaneous possession of drugs and firearms, possession with intent to deliver meth, possession with intent to deliver controlled substance, possession of firearm by certain persons, possession of drug paraphernalia, speeding, no insurance, driving left of center, a reckless run, a loaded gun, and a stack of narcotics, all in one stop. He outran the road, not the consequences. In the early morning hours of December 28, 2025, Arkansas State Police were called in to assist with a multi-agency pursuit that began in Oklahoma and crossed into northwest Arkansas. The suspect vehicle moved through Highway 244, Highway 16, and multiple county roads as agencies worked to reposition and coordinate. With radio channels struggling to stay patched and the chase constantly changing direction, troopers moved ahead to intercept before the situation escalated further.
Watch channel 32, advising westbound 16 miles. Can I keep bringing for life down?
As the pursuit turned westbound on Highway 16, a trooper attempted an intentional intervention, striking the rear driver's side, but the vehicle stayed mobile. Moments later, the trooper caught back up, committed to a tactical vehicle intervention, and maintained contact as the suspect braked hard. The vehicle was pushed counterclockwise and brought to a stop. Officers conducted a felony takedown, and both occupants complied and were taken into custody without further incident, bringing the pursuit to an end. Charges: Christopher Eubanks, driver. Fleeing Brian Cox, passenger. Failure to appear, active warrant. A pursuit that crossed state lines, switched leaders, and survived radio problems, before ending with a textbook TVI. Even with miscommunication in the air, the road eventually made the decision. Thanks for riding the adrenaline wave with us here at Mind Rush. If you're hungry for more heart-pounding action and edge-of-your-seat excitement, don't go anywhere, because we're just getting started. Hit that subscribe button and stay tuned for more mind-blowing moments coming your way soon.